The teams for MCC 25 have been announced, and today, I'm going over an analysis of all the teams, and I'm going to leave my predictions to the end of the video. Join the Discord server for the MCC simulation we are doing, as it's really fun to run, and make sure to join if you want to get into the next one. Subscribing supports the channel a lot, and I really want to hit 500 subs, so I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. Anyways, enjoy the video. On the Red Rabbits are Sapnap, Foolish, Ponk, and Gumi. This team has an average of 8,220 coins, and a Season 2 average of 8,366 coins. This team feels like it could be a wild card, with Sapnap being Sapnap, and Foolish placing between the 10 to 20 range, and Ponk and Gumi placing between the 20 to 30 range. If Sapnap can train this team well, I could definitely see this team getting the win. Red's best games are Battle Box, Meltdown, and Parkour Tag, with survival games and Sands of Time coming very close behind. It's quite obvious that this team is insane at PvP and pretty good at movement games, which they will want to play later. Red's worst games are Hole in the Wall, Rocket Sleep Rush, and Ace Race. Okay, I guess they aren't that great at movement. Foolish, Ponk, and Gumi all struggle with these games, except Foolish on Ace Race. On the orange ocelots are Hannah, Aimsey, Velvet, and 5-Up. This team has an average of 7,244 coins, and a Season 2 average of 7,244 coins, because none of them have played in Season 1. I gave Velvet the average of Ponk, because I don't think his performance from Pride 22 is going to work in the main event really well. If I could describe this team in one word, it would be underrated. I can see this team being a low-key version of Blue 21, because Hannah could do similarly to Purple's performance in his second event, and Velvet could be similar to Tubbo in performance if he really practices. Aimsey likely wouldn't perform up to Jack's 13th individual, but I could still see this team being a low-key version of Blue 21. We all know 5-Up is a beast, using strategy to send his teams right to the win. We know he will practice with all his teammates, and don't count this team out just yet. Orange's best games are Sands of Time, Meltdown, and Build Mart. They dominate Sands of Time and Meltdown, likely getting first in at least one of these. For Build Mart, only 5-Up has played it, so they might not actually do insane at it. But 5-Up can definitely lead bad Build Mart teams to victory. Orange's worst games are Hole in the Wall, Rocket Sleep Rush, and Ace Race. They really struggle in these games, not even getting an 800 coin average in them. They cannot have these games played late or it's over for them. On the Yellow Yaks are Puns, Antfrost, Shovel, and Blushy. This team has an average of 8,570 coins and a Season 2 average of 8,457 coins. 3 out of 4 Aqua Abominations from MCC 18, but this time, all of them have improved, especially Antfrost. This team is scary, with the Puns and Ant duo happening in 2022, which is very cursed, definitely being able to dominate. Yellow's best games are Sky Battle, Battle Box, and To Get to the Other Side. This team is extremely strong in PvP, and very good in movement as well. Stay away from this team in these games, as they will likely dominate them. Yellow's worst games are Sands of Time, Parkour Tag, and Hole in the Wall. Although they aren't necessarily bad at any of these games, they are under average in them and should skip them if they can. On the Lime Llamas are Pizza Hut, Captain Sparkles, Ant Venom, and Solidarity Gaming. This team has an average of 8,582 coins, and a Season 2 average of 7,956 coins. Captain finally completes the color wheel. This team looks like a fun one, and I'm really excited for the combos. I feel like this team is really relying on Pete, and I feel like when that happens, he doesn't do very well individually, so sadly, I don't think I can see this team winning. Lime's best games are Hole in the Wall, Ace Race, and Build Mart. This team is quite strong in movement, surprisingly, and they will also be a good team in Build Mart, so they need these games later. Lime's worst games are Meltdown, Grid Runners, and Sands of Time. They really struggle with these games, and want to definitely play these early or skip them completely. On the green geckos are Smallish Beans, JoJo Solos, Scar, and Seapeekay. This team has an average of 8,497 coins, and a Season 2 average of 8,671 coins. This team is actually stupid busted. 3 people who can get top 10, and even top 5, and Scar, who is the hard carry on this team by far. I feel like this team will have a very high chance at dodgebolt, and will be really fun POV to watch. Green's best games are Rocket Sleep Rush, Battle Box, and Ace Race. They are absolutely cracked at these games, and could definitely get first in all of them. Green's worst games are Meltdown, Parkour Tag, and Grid Runners. They don't necessarily even really struggle with these games, but I would recommend avoiding them either way, or playing them early. On the Scion Coyotes are H-Bomb, Tubbo, Car Corvus, and Zeus. This team has an average of 7,961 coins and a Season 2 average of 7,663 coins. But I feel like this team vastly surpasses this amount, as Zeus is easily the most underrated MCC participant in terms of stats. I feel like this team is honestly pretty underrated, as they are a really strong team. Zeus has proven that he is cracked, getting into the top 15 in MCC 21 and got 16th in MCC 23. H-Bomb and Tubbo teamed last MCC, and they both popped off so hard, especially H-Bomb getting first individual. We would expect H-Bomb to get a nerf after a first individual, but no, he gets this insane team. Scion's best games are Rocket Spleef Rush, Survival Games, and Sands of Time. Scion's 3 best games are all from different categories, which really goes to show how balanced this team is overall. Scion's worst games are Parkour Tag, Battle Box, and Sky Battle. They aren't terrible at any of these, but I would consider skipping these games. On the Aqua axolotls are Purpled, Ranboo, Jack Manifold, and Sniff Rush. This team has an average of 8,236 coins, and a Season 2 average of, 8,236 coins, because none of them have played in Season 1. This team will be really fun, with all of these players working really well together. I honestly don't really know where to place this team, but I'm assuming they'll turn out similar to how Red 24 did last event. Aqua's best games are To Get to the Other Side, Sky Battle, and Sands of Time. Once again, all of these games are from different categories. They're really cracked at any of these games, so try to play these late. Aqua's worst games are Survival Games and Meltdown. I feel like Aqua is a pretty well-rounded team, since they are overall pretty good at every category of game. On the blue bats are Illumina, False, Elena, and Pearl. This team has an average of 7,970 coins, and a Season 2 average of 7,841 coins. This team will be a really fun one, with Elena fitting in perfectly with Illumina from the time they teamed together in Pride 22. I'm honestly really excited for this team, but I can't see them doing very well. Blue's best games are Sands of Time, Build Mart, and Rocket Spleef Rush. They are honestly really good at these 3 games, and will maybe even get a top 3 from them. Blue's worst games are Parkour Tag, Meltdown, and Sky Battle. When I say they struggle in Sky Battle, I mean it. They will also struggle with Parkour Tag and Meltdown, and need these games played early or skip to do well. On the purple pandas are Fruit Berries, Awesome Dude, Errit, and Wisp. This team has an average of 8,675 coins, and a Season 2 average of 8,363 coins. This team will be such a fun dynamic, and I would love to watch the VOD of this team after the event. I can see them doing well, similar to how Cerulean 19 got the dodgebolt. Purple's best games are Survival Games, Sky Battle, and Battle Box. This team seems to dominate PvP games, other than Meltdown, and want to play these games later for sure. Purple's worst games are Grid Runners, Ace Race, and Meltdown. They honestly aren't necessarily bad at any of these games, but I would suggest they try to play these games early anyways. And finally, on the pink parrots are Grian, Philza, Smajor, and Wilbur. This team has an average of 8,675 coins, and a Season 2 average of 8,119 coins. Finally, we have Socket Duo. Thank you so much, Scott. This team is my personal favorite, and I'll likely be watching Philza this MCC. Pink's best games are Rocket Spleef Rush, Build Mart, and Hole in Wall. They do really good in these games, especially Rocket Spleef Rush that they do insane in. They need to play these games later to have a chance at the win. Pink's worst games are Sky Battle, Parkour Tag, and Meltdown. Once again, they aren't necessarily bad at any of these games, except Meltdown they struggle in. I would suggest trying to skip these games anyways. For my predictions, 10th place is Blue, 9th place is Lime, 8th place is Orange, 7th place is Aqua, 6th place is Pink, 5th place is Purple, 4th place is Red, 3rd place is Cyan, 2nd place is Yellow, and 1st place is Green, and they win Dodgeball. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry for my little break in uploads. I was pretty busy working on the Fantasy MCC on the Discord, that you should definitely join if you want to be in the next one. It's really fun. Consider subscribing if you want to be in the pre-500 sub gang, and thank you, the amazing viewer, for watching this video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all later.